What if I told you there's a place in our own solar system where the ground beneath your feet is literally hot enough to melt lead, vaporize tin, and cook a full meal in seconds? And yet, scientists believe something might still be living there. Stay with me, because what you're about to hear is going to completely shatter everything you thought you knew about extreme survival. We're talking about Venus, Earth's so-called twin sister. And I need you to stop thinking about it the way your school textbook described it, because those descriptions did not do justice to the absolute madness happening on that planet every single second of every single day. Here's the thing that most people get completely wrong. Most people assume Mercury, the closest planet to the Sun, must be the hottest planet in our solar system. It sounds logical. It sounds obvious. But it is 100% incorrect. And that is exactly where the story gets dangerously interesting. Venus, which sits further away from the Sun than Mercury, actually records surface temperatures of approximately 465 degrees Celsius, which is around 869 degrees Fahrenheit on average. During peak daytime conditions, temperatures on certain surface regions approach and can reach about 430 degrees Celsius, roughly 800 degrees Fahrenheit, and beyond. These aren't estimates made up in a laboratory. These are confirmed measurements collected by Soviet spacecraft that actually landed on Venus between the 1970s and 1980s. The Venera probes, built by the USSR, survived on the Venusian surface for only about 23 to 127 minutes before being completely destroyed by the heat and pressure. Let that sink in. Machines built specifically to survive those conditions were obliterated in under 2 hours. Now here's where it gets even more controversial. Mercury, despite being millions of miles closer to the Sun, only reaches about 430 degrees Celsius during its day, the same temperature as Venus. Yet Venus maintains that heat constantly, day and night, while Mercury's night side plunges to negative 180 degrees Celsius. Mercury cannot hold its heat. Venus refuses to let it go. And the reason for that is something that should concern every single person alive on Earth today. Venus has a runaway greenhouse effect. Its atmosphere is composed of approximately 96.5% carbon dioxide, with thick layers of sulfuric acid clouds stretching 48 to 70 kilometers above the surface. This atmosphere acts like an iron blanket. It traps every single unit of solar heat and refuses to release it. The atmospheric pressure on Venus's surface is about 92 times greater than Earth's surface pressure. Standing on Venus without protection would be the equivalent of being submerged almost 1 kilometer deep into Earth's ocean, while simultaneously being baked alive and chemically dissolved by acid clouds above you. Scientists from NASA and the European Space Agency have confirmed through missions like Venus Express and Da Vinci Plus planning documents that Venus was not always this way. Billions of years ago, Venus may have had liquid water oceans. It may have had a climate not entirely different from Earth's. Something triggered a catastrophic greenhouse spiral, and it transformed a potentially habitable world into the most hostile planetary surface in our solar system. Here is the part that nobody talks about enough. Recent research published in major scientific journals has suggested that the upper cloud layers of Venus, sitting between 48 and 60 kilometers in altitude, actually have temperatures ranging from 30 to 70 degrees Celsius, with atmospheric pressures similar to Earth's surface. And in 2020, astronomers detected what appeared to be phosphine gas in those upper clouds, a gas that on Earth is associated almost exclusively with biological processes. The discovery sparked enormous scientific controversy. Could microbial life be floating in the cloud layers of Venus, never touching the scorching surface, surviving in the only habitable altitude band on the planet? As of 2024, this question remains officially unresolved and continues to drive serious scientific debate. Let me give you a number that will genuinely disturb you. If you placed a block of lead on the surface of Venus, lead, one of the heaviest and most heat-resistant common metals humans work with, it would melt within minutes. The melting point of lead is approximately 327 degrees Celsius. Venus exceeds that temperature by more than 100 degrees on a completely average day. Spacecraft engineers have been battling this problem for decades. NASA's current Venus exploration designs are being built with high-temperature electronics capable of surviving above 500 degrees Celsius, because anything less would be useless. And yet, Human beings have always been drawn to the most impossible places. In 1970, the Soviet Union did what most engineers said was physically impossible. They landed Venera 7 on Venus, the first spacecraft to successfully transmit data from the surface of another planet. It survived 23 minutes. Those 23 minutes gave us data that transformed planetary science forever. 23 minutes in a place where 430 degrees Celsius is just a Tuesday afternoon. Here's what I want you to take away from this. Venus is our neighbor. It orbits just next door in cosmic terms. And it is an almost perfect case study of what happens when a greenhouse effect spirals beyond control. Some scientists have openly and controversially stated that studying Venus isn't just about space exploration. It is about understanding the potential future trajectory of Earth's own climate under continued atmospheric changes. The universe has a way of placing warnings right next to us. Venus might be the loudest warning in our solar system, a burning monument to what an atmosphere pushed to its breaking point actually looks like. Follow this page right now, because we are just getting started going to places in this universe that will rewire the way your brain understands reality. Now I want to ask you something genuinely important. If scientists discovered confirmed microbial life floating in the cloud layers of Venus as early as next year, do you think that would change how humanity views our own existence? And would governments actually tell us the full truth about it?